Hey everyone, and welcome to this week ahead look at the energy for this week. So these are the cards that I might be using. We'll see how we feel. Muse Tarot, my favorite. Magical Herb Oracle, I also love. Mystical Shaman Oracle. And the Divine Feminine. Ooh, just got ringing in my ear. So I'm feeling a lot of, so that's a signal for clear audience to be aware of the impulses that you receive. And it's like a notification of almost like a download and / message coming in for you. So it gets, when you hear that ringing in your ears, it gets planted in your subconscious and it will filter throughout your being later, and it'll be revealed to you a bit later as to what that message is, for those of you wondering. So I already pulled a card for the energy. We've got the Wild Woman here. So this is amazing. This is very healing through fire energy, healing through rage and anger. And I know, like, psychology says, well, they do say to release it and let it out, but society says don't do that, right? And that's why we're stuck with all these repressed emotions. That's why everyone thinks feeling bad is bad. And as you know, spiritually, when we're feeling depressed, that's our dark night of the soul. And we're being forced to go within to look at our darkness so that we can actually look into it and heal it and bring it into the light. And that's where the healing happens, when it's in the light, when you bring it to your awareness, when you love your darkness, when you love your pain, when you accept your pain, that's where you find your power. So there may be aspects of you that really need to be brought to the surface to healed. It could be a sexual injustice, a sexual assault. It could be how you've always been treated and just viewed as, you know, this sexy being, and no one, or you feel like people don't see beneath the surface as to who you really are at that soul level. So this is just a fiery soul expression this week for the ladies. And of course, this happens for the Divine Masculine as well. So a combination of both energies. But this is repressed energy that needs to be catered to by you. So please make space for it this week. And it could come through the form of anger and rage, and you might need to scream it out. You might need to do a fire ritual. You really need to look into deeper depths of yourself. Depths, not deaths. Maybe deaths. I mean, and on that topic, we have so many internal deaths, emotional deaths, right? When you think of all the times that you've gone through bouts of depression, your soul lessons, repetitive cycles, you know, and the time of filming this, we're in Mercury retrograde. Like, there's so much depth to you. There's so many emotions that you've experienced. There's some you've oppressed, there's some you've exposed. We really need to look at those aspects of yourself that you're not seeing. And if you're not seeing it now, it'll be revealed to you. You know, that's what Mercury retrograde's all about. So using these feminine decks today, because we need to heal this aspect of ourselves. And it could be in the form of, you don't voice your opinion. You've always been a people pleaser. You could have, you know, Libra in your top 3 or heavy in your chart. But I'm just hearing heavily Libra placements, and they're beautiful, charismatic, caring human beings. But the imbalanced side of them is that they just want everyone else around them to be happy. And that's such a beautiful trait, and we do need more of that in the world. However, with these beautiful traits, we need to balance it out, and we also need to heal the other aspects to us. The darker side, say, of Libra, it's the people pleaser. It's I give too much, don't get enough back. I don't schedule healthy time for myself. I don't schedule love for me. You know, it's that darker side that you need to look at. And you might need to scream at someone no. And whereas that's not the healthiest way, but it's all about the journey, the transgression. It's better for you to scream no than to say nothing at all, right? And then once you've hit, you go from one extreme to the other. And then once you've hit that extreme, kind of work yourself backwards to, okay, I need to communicate my needs to myself and to other people. That might resonate. So this, we've got the presence of the Divine Feminine. Not shocking, right? At the center of everything, there is light. I am the light. So even when you've experienced darkness, you are the light. You know, you're someone, she kind of looks like Gwen Stefani. You're someone that people look up to, even if you feel like they don't. So you could be a spiritual healer. Oh, I forgot, these ones are never in order. Here we go. I will find it. Thank goodness for the contents page. Is this in order? Is it? No, it's not. I found it. 138. Great cards, but super annoying to try to find the meaning. So let's read this. I'm not going to read exactly who she is because it kind of goes over my head and goes into her history. That doesn't make sense to me. But anyway. So, oh, how funny. So this person represents the tree of life as the pillar of balance, which is all that Libra energy, right? So even if you don't have Libra in your chart, this might be something that you just need to heal within yourself, an aspect of you that needs to come into balance. So Shania, she is the force that unites the opposites. She brings heaven to earth and she unites the body and soul. Because of her, there can be a direct path of communication between humanity and divinity. Because of her, we can experience God right here in this moment and right here in this body. When your soul selects her card, this is a sacred text. So talk about like the messages I was receiving as soon as I started the video. She's the center of everything. She is all life on earth. And all consciousness is a part of her light and is therefore sacred. So that's accepting the darker and the lighter aspects of us. The metaphysical theory of her is that her divine presence is manifested in the material world. So there isn't actually matter, whether organic or inorganic, that isn't also part of the divine. This is a reminder that you are not just this body or this pain that we might be going through. It could be confusing in the moment of our brief life. We are light, you know, at a spiritual level. We are molecules of heaven and in the human form. And right now we can just know this. We can experience the light that we are. And that can be enough. We can experience the light we are, and that can be enough. That can be the miracle and the answer we actually need. Not words or meaning, but simply and more profoundly, we are a radiant being. So it's accepting the light and who you are right now. And I know this is a repetitive message, but I feel like we're probably not doing it. You know, can you accept who you are right now, how far you've come, and the pain it took to get you here? Can you accept your magic? Can you accept your light and your dark? Can you accept your feminine aspects, healed and unhealed, and your masculine aspects of you that are healed and unhealed? Can you accept that things happen to you this lifetime because it's here to aid you to become what you want to become, to gain greater experience at a soul level? Can you be happy when you're not happy? Can you? That is like a gift that we can give ourselves when we can be happy. Oops, when we're not happy. Isn't that funny? Can you be happy if you're 5 kilos or 50 kilos overweight? Can you be happy if your car isn't the latest model? Can you be happy if you don't have the latest technology? Can you be happy if you have a small kitchen? Can you just be happy? Can you just be happy and accept what you've got is enough right now? You are enough right now. And that's what happens. It leads you to, when we can accept the things in our life and not always want more, when we can accept what we have, we fulfill that insatiable desire for more. And that takes away from our present moment. What we need, our power is here in this moment right now. This is where we co-create with the universe. This is where we cultivate change. This is where we grow our souls, is when we're all present right now, right? And hopefully you're not doing something else and just listening to me. But hopefully you're present in this channeled reading because it's here to help you in your soul. So when we can accept everything in the present moment, how we are, we're wild at heart, and in order to heal, we need to let it out. We're the light and the dark aspects. Everything's okay. That's a nice balance, right? When we accept who we are and what we have and where we've got, we can focus actually on our desires. But we can't jump ahead. And I feel like the law of attraction, this is why it doesn't always work, is because these aspects of us we can't be happy with what we have. You know, we can't accept our bodies with, say, cellulite, or it's a bit flabby. We can't accept that. But when you do, you're like, you know what? I don't care. I try really hard, and I have a beautiful body, no matter what size or shape you are, because I tell you, you will never feel happy. You could lose 20 kilos, you still won't be happy. I look at photos of me that I took, you know, in my laundry and stuff in my early 20s. And I was just looking at myself going, ugh, don't like that, don't like that, don't like that. And I look back on them now, I'm like, oh my God, what was I complaining about? Like, seriously, I could have done modeling. Like, you know, because it wasn't about visually how I looked. It was about what I had to heal inside me. So once we do that work, that's when we can, okay, what do I actually desire? That's why people struggle to know what they want or what their life purpose is, because of this caca, you know, which is why I designed my soul programs to go through stages to get you to where you want to go. Then you're working in your purpose. And for me, it's been a funny journey. Like, you know, also I did the full moon video in Virgo, and I was talking about what I wanted to manifest. And it was just something flirty and fun. But it's good practice to do those little things, because when you don't care too much about the outcome, that's how you manifest, right? But it's those little practice tips, like you need to practice. I want to do this, or I want to find the perfect pink flowers in the perfect shade that I want, you know, and you keep yourself open and you let it go, because it's not such a big deal if you have it or if you don't have it, right? That's how things manifest, when you're in that lighter energy, you know. But when you're carrying this, like, you're not accepting yourself, you're not accepting situations that you're in, not accepting people for who they are, trying to change them or wishing they'd be different, that inhibits you from manifesting and getting to know what you desire, because you're too caught up in projecting yourself outwards and what you think other people should do, you think other people should do for you, that you get so distracted with the chaos and the, you know, it's like watching TV. That's such a distraction. It's like, shut that shit off, snap your aerial off, or what, take your internet cable out, and just sit with yourself and do things that are healthy for your soul, not accepting other people's opinions and finding your own. Finding your own light within you to share with others. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. And then when we clear up some of that caca, then we can be clear on our desires and go, oh, okay. Look, there's even like a genie lamp there. It's like, what do I actually want? What do I actually want? Things become clearer when we clear up this energetic debris in our brain. It's just like a big cyclone stuck in our head. And things just swirl, and the chaos just swirls. And then when we kind of calm down and look at what needs to be seen, why did the cyclone start in the first place? We're able to release it. We're able to heal it and let it go and address the issues in whatever way works for you. And then we're able to focus on our desires more. I'm going to read the desire and see what it has to say. Oracle meaning: the pursuit of what you long for and the achievement of the attainment are indicated. Something you long for could be in the spotlight and having a great ripple effect through your life more than usual. Is this a good thing? Perhaps, but be careful your desires do not cloud your focus or true purpose. Ambition, passions and goals are all in a state of progression. Exactly what I was just saying. A very important concern will come into your life shortly that needs your full commitment and attention. Relationships become more physical and passionate. Ooh la la. So yeah, what she said. Don't you love how it works like that? So I'm just loving the advice that's coming through right now, so I don't really want to stop, even though I told myself it was only going to be a short one, because my guides again are like, oi, rest. This is me resting. I know, I need to be careful with it. So this is like Five of Pentacles. This is getting out of that Five of Pentacle energy once you address whatever's going on for you, situations or things not going right with your children, or, you know, whatever's not working. It's because you've been doing the same thing for too long. You've been focusing on the same outcome, how you want things to play out, and it's been controlling your life. Like you've been blocking your blessings because you're trying to control how things play out and the timing. Like, yeah. And so we've got the Two of Emotions. So this could be like related to relationships. You could be trying to control how relationships come to you, or you could be too focused on relationships and what people give to you, kind of what I said before, and what, you know, what you get versus what you give out, which is causing an imbalance. So it really needs to be, and I think you will be, it'll be balancing out for you. And that's the funny thing. If you can let it go, enough just to go, okay, universe, just take this from me. I don't want to have to handle whatever this situation is anymore. State situation. It's like, please, you take care of it for me. And that's the thing. As soon as you're able to do that, go, oh, I'm over it. It's not working. Whatever I do doesn't work. Therefore, I choose to let it go. And then when you do, it sorts itself out. But to let it go is to not think about it anymore. It's just to say, I trust that this situation will resolve itself in the way that's best for everyone. And it will. And it always will. So I'm going to pull one more. And I'm going to read. Oh, wow. Hang on. Yeah, and then I'm going to read. I'm just going to pick something from a book, because I used to do this at the beginning of my journey. I bought like heaps of these kind of spiritual empowering books, just to try to make myself happy, because that's all I wanted. I just wanted to be happy in my life. And I started with the books. So I'm just going to flip to a page. It's kind of like oracle cards, I find books are. You flip to a page and you get the answer you seek if you have a question. So this is, okay, the universe is like, hang on, whatever you're doing, just stop. It's time for that reflection, and not to like play the blame game. When we are so angry at others for not acting the way that we like, we need to be able to look at ourselves and go, what, hang on, why, how am I contributing to this? Am I putting in lots of negative energy because I want it to be a different way? You know, and then it makes it into a cyclone. So the universe is like, please just hold off, do this stuff, and clarity will come soon. So, oh my God, here we go. So how funny is this? So we've got clutching and control. I just want to read parts of this. Okay, I'm just going to read the whole thing. So Sally showed up to a coaching session with me, and this is Gabrielle Bernstein's book, Add More Into Your Life. So Sally showed up to a coaching session with me, complaining that she felt alone, that her friends and boyfriend were not showing up for her. She complained that her boyfriend, who was studying in Europe, was not replying to her emails. Her friends were not attending her social events, and her sister wasn't returning her phone calls. She felt unheard and ignored by the world. So she had a backstory of feeling that she was ignored, and obviously that stems from your childhood. And when she was little, she never got the proper attention from her father, who was clinically depressed and emotionally unstable, and he wasn't able to give her the attention that she craved, because everything that occurs now, although unhealed, abandoned aspects of us, obviously stem from our childhood. So Gabby's saying that her client was filled with anger towards her father. And then obviously she discussed why that was. And then obviously that plays out in your romantic relationships. You'll attract people that are similar because that child aspect of you wants to be finally heard and seen by a masculine figure, right? And we carry this with us our whole lives. So then Gabby was saying that her client developed a tendency to control, manipulate, push, and scream in order to get people to respond to her, because that's all how she knew, because that was her inner child playing out, right? Her outer rage is her knee-jerk response, mirroring her unhealed anger towards her father. I explained to Sally that her friends are not her father, and that if she continued to equate happiness with attention from others, she would be screwed. That's the PC term. I continued to teach her that the reason her friends were not responding to her was because behind every request was a manipulative expectation. Within each request, she was serving her past pain on a platter. And then she talks about some poem from Rumi saying, "Stop serving your pain." She suggested that in order to be truly healed by others, we need to ask without expectation. What else is there here? There is a way of saying things. But I also feel like if this is something that's deep-seated, that is stuck, obviously, like I didn't say get angry at people, but it needs to come out. And it's better for it to come out, and then if it does hit someone else, to apologize later than to not at all. And I know that sounds like some real super bad advice, but okay, I'll give you an example. I didn't intend this, but was it Mars conjuncting Uranus? And I'm like, oh yeah, cool, I got this. And then I like fully had a meltdown, and I did not see that coming. I went in and yelled at my boss. Someone put in like an unfounded, none of their business complaint about me not working my hours. So I lost it because I've been working so hard. So I went in there and I exploded. I was screaming and crying. Everyone at work heard me. And then I was thinking to myself, well, I would have fired me. And my boss was so nice. He's like, come and tell me about your other skills. And then we did. And he met with me like 3 times that day just to see if I was okay. Now that, obviously, coaching the way I do, I wouldn't recommend anyone doing that, but I just flew off the handle, because deep down my inner child was like, no one sees me, no one sees my gifts. I've done so many, even the office side of things, I've done a lot of different roles. I'm like, and I've ended up somehow some office shit kicker, which I chose to do because the coaching got too much for me, even though I want to be my own entrepreneur. I'm literally taking a break by working in an office again because I just need to sort out my head. So it sounds like I'm going backwards, but I'm not really. But anyway, so my boss was so kind and really, obviously a part of me felt safe because he literally looks, my dad's passed away, but he literally kind of sometimes acts and looks like my dad. And it's crazy. So he's been very healing for me. Because at first when I started back in the office, I had a panic attack. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going backwards like this, but it's not. So it could look like you're going backwards, but you're not, and he's been very healing for me. Some guy tried to have a crack and, he was sending his sexual advancements my way as soon as I started there. And I've had this nearly at every job. And as women, you kind of just get used to going, oh, I'll accept, that's just the way it is. And if I tell anyone, the guy will always be like a narcissist and turn it around and say that you're the one cracking onto them. I've had that happen so many times. So you get to this point where you stop speaking up and you just deal with it, right? But he found out about this guy just trying to have a crack at me, and he marched on into this guy and said, if a lady says no, she means no, and oh my God, like that is so healing. He's been very healing for me. So if I was to think, oh my God, I can't believe I acted like that, which I do a little bit, but do you know what I mean? It served its purpose. If it comes flying out from nowhere, it serves its purpose. It's meant to happen. We're all not perfect, but the thing is, me being able to scream and let it out, the injustice, it's like one of a million injustices I've experienced. And for him to actually care enough to pay attention and try to make changes to make me happy, that means my family have never done that for me. Do you know what I mean? This guy, he's only known me for like 4 or 5 months maybe. Do you know what I mean? And he's done more for me than anyone ever has. And it's like, do you know what I mean? So you don't know till you know until you do it. So don't ever beat up on yourself if it happens. Obviously, don't aim for that. But yeah, it's very important right now to express yourself. And that the wild side of you is very healing, and it's a way of claiming back those parts of yourself. So I hope I've explained myself enough, and I hope you've enjoyed this. And have a fantastic week, and honor yourself with a little ceremony to claim those aspects back. Don't try to control your feelings, because right now we need to express them and let them out. All right? I'm just, disclaimer, don't go and yell at your boss. That was just how it panned out for me. I was literally, you know, and like the book said, it's about controlling, right? I was trying to control my feelings instead of kind of discussing it with him. But that's the way it played out for me. And for me, it worked out well, you know. But ultimately, if you plan to be angry at someone, that has the opposite meaning, right? You have to take responsibility for how you act. So it needs to come from a authentic place, and not just, I'm angry at this person, I'm going to let them have it, you know. I hope that makes sense. I'm not telling anyone to go yell at anyone, but I'm just saying, if something needs to be expressed authentically, then don't feel bad when it comes out. Okay. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.